Okay. So Raymond Blade, do I'm pronouncing correctly or not?
You're pronouncing it perfectly, actually. So it's not meant to be spoken in any other language than Dutch. So my apologies for that. By the way,
Yes.
I changed the spelling. So instead of IG, I made it a Y to make it easier.
Yeah, because would be Raymond Blight, right?
Exactly. So this is perfect. Thanks.
Okay, Raymond. Okay, perfect. Well, Raymond, you are very well known in this environment, legal tech environment, and also because your expertise on legal data, your analysis such of what is really happening in the legal tech sector and the markets, of course, and not only in the busting, in the hype. So that's why, I mean, the ones who know you, and I'm also honored to call you friend. We have been following your career, and also we fall in love with your data because you really show us the real facts. So I would really like to start this small interview with a short intro about yourself.
Okay. Raymond Blight, born and raised in Suriname. So I had Spanish at school, habla español poquito. Um, and came to the Netherlands, started studying law, and then went into a couple of ventures. Ended up with my dream job, and then figured out, you know what, I'm going to try and be an entrepreneur. And I say that with hesitancy because I don't think I'm a good entrepreneur at that. But I do like to do analysis, and I do like to do reports and work with financial data. So I thought I'd mix those two and start Legal Complex as a product. Currently, I'm employed as a consultant in various organizations and government entities. So that's me in a nutshell.
Uh, uh, yeah, thank you for sharing this small intro, and then also, have you been in Spain before?
So I've been to Spain. I had my one of my best holidays with my friends in Lloret de Mar. But I've only been once to Madrid when I got invited by Global Legal Tech Hub, Albert. So that was my first time. Fell in love, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do this again one more time.
Well, that's very nice. So, I mean, I will ask you next about this second time of you in Madrid, but then maybe share with us a little bit about your article for Artificial Lawyer last week.
Sure.
Was very nice about these insights of the legal data and the legal markets and the impact. So, it will be nice.
Yeah, so I'm not great at recalling things on the top of my head, but if I can remember right, the total number of funding for globally was 5.99 billion, a weird number. So it's almost six, spread across various areas. One of the interesting one of the interesting trends we're seeing, and it has been for quite some time, is that fewer companies are raising larger rounds. That trend isn't new, but those large rounds also indicate their valuations in some cases, and those valuations have been significant. And even if you compare that to other companies in other sectors, and also if you benchmarks those valuations against exit values. So when companies are getting sold, those valuations also seems a little bit extraordinary, I should say, if that makes sense.
So, as I was saying before, would you like to share some insights of this great article that you wrote last week?
Oh, yes, sure. So I was collecting the numbers from last year. The headline number is that we raised, Legal Tech has raised 5.99 billion, so almost 6 billion for 2025, which is about, I think, 20% more than we had last year. And it has been increasing every year since 2023. But we still haven't surpassed the 2021 number of 6.94 billion, almost 7 billion we raised that year. Interesting fact, by the way, the number in 2021 is a record that has never been broken. And the reason why is lots of companies right after the pandemic needed extra funding. So those were not generally driven by demand, as opposed to the increases that we're seeing right now. These are purely driven by demand, resulting in investors getting interested in investing. However, the trend that have been seeing for the last 5 years is that fewer companies have been raising bigger rounds, and the valuations that we've been seeing, how much a company is being valued based on those fundraising, has also surpassed what we've have seen in the past. So those are the interesting insights. One of the interesting insights. I'm also going to share in Spain and on January the 22nd what the numbers are specifically for Spain over the years. So that would be fascinating to check out.
Now I'm intrigued, and I'm sure that everyone in the Derecho Practical audience will be intrigued as well. But yeah, in any case, please let us know. And now is the time to promote your second time in
Oh.
Madrid, the one and only time that you're going to be doing this workshop, masterclass. What is it? What should we expect? And it's going to be like a meet and greet, and we are going to get to know what it's going to be about. Tell us about it.
So, yeah. So first of all, it was a happy accident that we're returning to Madrid. Um, but the interesting thing for me was telling a different story that was generally being told in the public. So using numbers to illustrate what is actively happening. That's one part. That's the first part. The second part is looking at the examples or the products that have been gaining interest and usage and are becoming popular, including with the current trend of vibe coding. And finally, and I think which is the most important part, is looking at how these systems work and how secure they are and what we should know about them in general. So those are the three big themes I wanted to address. So first markets, products, and then technology in general. Um, and I wanted to do it in in Madrid.
Well, that's very nice. And then, of course, it's going to be an opportunity also for you to escape from the from the snowy, cloudy, and rainy weather from the Netherlands for a bit.
Yes, that's one other reason to do this, and also to really engage with a diverse set of people from different backgrounds. So talking to lawyers, talking to founders, talking to consultants. Um, since what we're seeing at the moment is it's undeniable there's a total shift going on. We're all moving towards working with AI. And we have to all radically rethink the value that we are offering to our customers and also look at our place in the market. So that is one of the themes that I was most interested in doing this little workshop. It's just in total 4 hours from 10 o'clock to 2. There will be snacks and drinks, so those are on me. But I'm really looking forward to having those conversations in that setting.
I heard also that you will show some examples from a company that I'm collaborating with. So
So the second part, so we have three teams where we're going to look at products. I'm going to pick out the examples that are, let's say, the good, the bad, and the interesting examples. But we're going to focus on what legal work is now being popular. I'd say where AI is adding real value. And the workflows surrounding that, and going to give some specific examples of that. We're going to use Saga, we're going to use Sabio, and we're going to use a couple of other examples from the market, but based on what we've seen happening and where we see interest going on. Also going to show some things we shouldn't be doing because we've done them in the past and they haven't worked. Maybe they're going to work in AI. But yes, I'm really happy to show some real life examples um, that are in the market today that people are able to see and use themselves.
no, but also I personally encourage everyone, and I would like to invite everyone to join this session, not only because you are amazing and a true expert, but also because you always say that you are introverted, but I think that you are very extroverted when people get to know you deeply. And I mean, you need to develop trust. There's few sticks, right? Only few sticks because you need to create this environment of to share the
Yeah,
know.
honestly, Carol, one-on-one or in a small setting, I feel most comfortable. That's why you saw the best of me. The bigger
Yeah.
the crowds, the more I crawl into a shell, and also because there are two different narratives in the market at the moment, and that is one, we are seeing all of these big numbers and all of these interesting products getting attention, first sometimes for good reason. The voices that are the numbers that I usually publicize or share run counterintuitive to what we see. So I also get some, I would call it constructive feedback and criticism, uh, because they don't mesh well with what we see in, in reality. And that also makes me a little bit hesitant to, go out and go
Yeah,
public.
no, but it's gonna be a good opportunity to share with you, and I think that because there is no, this is more, it is only a small group, then it's gonna be even more insightful and more meaningful, and then we're gonna generate deeper conversations and discussions about this.
Yeah, because I also want to learn what from the audience as well,
Yeah.
how they view the world and what they see as hype and what is real. So I'm also interested in having that conversation, and maybe perhaps we're going to redo this in another setting. Not planning to. This is one and done
Yeah, because
unique
your post
experience.
announcing has been a huge success. So I mean, Elena Fox, like Cyrus, me, and a lot of people have been asking, "Are you planning to do this in London? Are you planning to do this in Jordania?" Like,
So I've been asked to go to London and do this in the UK. I've been asked to do this in the Netherlands as well.
I think people in the US wants to travel here. So it's like it's been crazy. Yeah.
So here's the crazy thing. We've had participants join the waitlist from the US, the Middle East, and when we told them that this is only in Madrid, they were like, "Okay, but will you do this online? Can we stream it or some kind?" So that was a big surprise for me that there are so many people really interested in looking at the numbers first, and then products and all that other stuff. So yeah, that was a happy surprise for me as well.
Yeah, so you're famous, you're popular. No, but I mean, I think that I really like saying that you are like a real legal tech voice out there, not only because you know, but also you have built that legitimacy to talk about these topics. I mean, you have built that. So it's not only about, yeah, I study this or I work on this. You integrate it on a way and also created out something that makes sense, that it's worth it, that is valuable, that is insightful for the community, and you share it. So I think that it's going to be a great opportunity. Thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting this small interview. Thank you,
I
Derecho.
hope you're going to be there and help me out because I need to.
I will be there, I promise.
Yeah, because I think the Saga workflow and all of the other workflows that we're going to demonstrate will be really fascinating for the audience to get a peek at. So yes, I'm really looking forward to, excited to be there.
Yeah, and again, thank you, Derecho Práctico, for this space. You have this insightful
Yes.
conversation with Raymond.
Muchas gracias.
Yeah, muchas gracias. It's not gonna be the last one in English, but I think it's one of the first ones we have done in English, fully in English, but definitely it's not gonna be the last one. And gracias, Chema. Gracias,
I'm
Derecho.
honored.
Thank you, Bill, Raymond. Yeah.
Muchas gracias. Thank you, Carol.
See you soon. Nos vemos el
All
jueves
right.
22 de enero. Ya nos vemos. Chao, chao. Bye.
Ciao. Bye.